What is your internal narrative? Christians are on the run, or God is on the move? I just want to encourage you today. God is doing great things. A week ago at TLC on Easter weekend, 20% more people than last Easter. TLC in Espanol had 50% growth over last year, over 6,500 people on campus over the weekend. And that was just at TLC. Vintage Faith Church was at the Rio Theater in Santa Cruz. They packed it out. Regeneration Church was at Mount Hermon. Then there were Good Friday paddle out services on the beach. Hundreds showed up. 7 TLCers were baptized. Then in 3 weeks, we have our baptisms here at church in all 3 services. If you're new to faith or renewing your faith, get baptized. Sign up at tlc.org/baptisms and we will get you all the info. Plus, the Hope Center is on. We are proceeding with the project thanks to your pledges and by God's grace. Now, why do I bring all this up? Because it's so easy these days to kind of feel like Christians are on the run. Churches are dying. We're losing. Because frankly, both sides of the political and religious spectrum are pushing that narrative. The church as on the run, on the wane, on the defensive. Yet, Gallup polled people in the 20 biggest cities in the U.S. and asked if they planned to attend church this Easter. As you'd expect, San Francisco had the lowest number, but even there, nearly 30% of the respondents expected to be in church on Easter. By San Francisco's population, that is nearly 250,000 people in the city. The reality is that here, even in the most unchurched region of the country, the Bay Area, hundreds of thousands of people still came out to celebrate Easter. Many were believers who maybe got out of the habit of attending. Many were unchurched people, at least considering faith in Jesus Christ. I know I personally spoke to so many young families here at church who have never attended church before, not here, not anywhere, and yet who showed up on Easter, and many others who are prodigal sons and daughters returning to faith. There is something going on here. And it feels like revival to me. Like the Apostle Paul said to a discouraged Colossian church, this same good news that came to you is going out all over the world. It is bearing fruit everywhere by changing lives, just as it changed your lives from the day you first heard and understood the truth about God's wonderful grace. Now listen to this. A study of more than 15,000 adults revealed about 2/3 are willing to be invited to church if the invitation comes from a family member, 56% if the invitation comes from a friend or neighbor, but another study showed only 40% of church goers are willing to invite someone. That means more people are willing to be invited than people willing to invite them to church. Man, I have a sense that this is a cultural moment right now when people are starting to be really open to that invitation. People looking for more out of life than just doom scrolling or binge watching at home. So let's all be loving and aware. As Paul later says to the Colossians, live wisely among those who are not believers and make the most of every opportunity. Believe that God is at work in powerful ways right now in Santa Cruz, right now in your family. Because if you're running angry and defensive and resentful, then you won't hear conversations around you. You won't see opportunities God creates for you. It all comes back to my first question. What is your internal narrative? Christians are on the run, or God is on the move? I know what mine is, and how you view what God will do will change you.